egg-laying contest in Tennessee didn't happen. I'm still mystified over Bruce Coslet giving these guys the day off 2 weeks ago tomorrow after a flukish last-second win over a so-so Pittsburgh team that had lost its best running back, Jerome Bettis, as if they had dominated them and wanted to make it exciting to the end. That gave way to last week's stinker against the Oilers, and today wasn't much better, no matter how you color it. Though colorful certainly describes the scene in Oakland. They are determined, I'd have to tell you, to make people forget about that other team on the other side of the bay. They've shed their second city complex. They certainly have a guy who's mocking the Napoleon complex, too, and making people forget about predecessor Napoleon McCallum from Milford. Napoleon Kaufman is the latest running back to feast on the Bengals defense. He had 143 yards, 100 of those by halftime. The only person who slowed him down, unfortunately, was referee Bob Boylston. He suffered a broken hip when Kaufman mowed him down in the second quarter. The helmet blow he took to the cheek seemed to be the major problem until the x-rays discovered the fracture. No breaks for the Bengals meantime, however. A flubbed punt recovered by Cincinnati was nullified by a penalty back at the line of scrimmage. Not enough men on the line. End of threat. While a Bengals bobble went to the Raiders. Damon Gibson's muff is recovered by Mike Morton to put the Raiders on the Bengals 20. That is late in the first half. Donald Hollis hit Tim Brown with a 19-yard touchdown pass, and the former Bengal had come back in this Halloween season to haunt his former teammates to make it 7-0. But the Bengals with a 3-yard offense out of the put in the first quarter, even the score in the second when O'Donnell hit Dillon. So despite their hit in this offense, it is 7-7 with the extra point. Momentarily, Hollis to James Jett. That's 2 T's. He's in from 39 yards, and it is 14-7, but it wasn't over for the first half by any stretch. Just 2 minutes later, Neil O'Donnell back to pass, and for my money, hesitant to run no matter how much room he might have, is hit by Darrell Russell. Lance Johnstone scoops it up, and it is 6 for their side, 21-7 as the half ended. Let's not dwell on this a whole lot longer. Bruce Coslet said he wanted some mobility to make up for the offensive line's porousness. He went to Jeff Blake in the fourth quarter, and not much came from that. Throw in several boneheaded late hits that earned big penalties, and no one comes out of this one unscathed. Bad game, bad execution, bad team, folks. 27-10 and 2-5 says it's so.
We're just right now a struggling team that's trying to find itself, and it's you know, we were expecting so much more today out of ourselves, and we made some mistakes early that just, you know, could have swung the game either way and hurt us.
That's the NFL, you know. We have to push this one aside. I mean, it's tough, you know, to lose, but in this business you have to have thick skin, and you know, we have to find a way to go out there wins and practice like it's the first game of the season, and you know, realize our mistakes and realize that, you know, realize we did lose this game, but at the same time kind of forget it and just get back to work.
And the chance of improving on that short side of that 2-5 record in the coming weeks, about as good as me being 6'3" by morning. Doubtful to impossible. The Bengals are easy targets right now. It's also a fact that a bad pro team beats none. Ask Los Angeles and Houston. Groups from both those one-time NFL cities present proposals for an expansion team at the owners' meeting tomorrow in Kansas City. Exhibit here's John Popovich.
The Bengals spent Sunday afternoon in Northern California, among the beauties, among the beasts.
Stop the embarrassment!
Beastly indeed. It was a day when the Bengals tried to do some different things on defense. They often went to 4 guys up front, but they still got gashed by Napoleon Kaufman.
It was working some, and then it wasn't. I mean, it was hit and miss, much like we've been.
Coslet points to 2 big plays that killed his team. One, the fumble recovery on the punt, nullified by a penalty. The second, the O'Donnell fumble late in the first half.
We're driving again. We're at the 50-yard line, 49-yard line, and we fumble the ball, and they recover it and run it in for a touchdown. That was the big play.
O'Donnell was taking a beating in the stands and on the field. Sometimes it was his fault. He wasn't getting rid of the ball. Sometimes the line wasn't helping him stop the sackers. Also of note, the way that Darnay Scott and Carl Pickens were neutralized by corners Charles Woodson and Eric Allen. It was a Bengals team that played poorly for the second week in a row, and the frustrations were clear with Super Bowl champion Denver straight ahead.
If we play like we know we are capable of playing, you know, we can do okay. If we play like we did against Oakland or Tennessee, no chance.
It's either a perfect time to regroup or to regress further. John Popovich, Channel 9 Sports.